Hello, SCMS students. It's Mr. S here. I want to talk to you today about a very important topic, and that topic is what happens in the event that we have to leave our building. There are two scenarios that we would look at when it comes to having to evacuate our building if we're here during the school day. The first scenario comes up when we look at maybe there is a fire in our building or there's some type of damage done to the building. In that event, there might be an alarm that goes off or an announcement made saying that we need to leave the building. You will follow your teacher to the exit, and our rally point in those situations is, if you remember from Brenner, it's the same spot. It's Zion Lutheran Church. So again, in the event that maybe there's a fire or there's something that happens, that there's some damage done to the building and it's not safe for us to be in the building anymore, we would need to evacuate. We'll go to Zion Lutheran Church. The other scenario that could potentially happen that would cause us to have to evacuate is in the event that somebody is looking to do harm to the students or staff in our building. When we talk about that, we're looking at somebody maybe trying to get into the school or is in the school and they have a weapon and they're trying to hurt people. In this scenario, it's scary to think about it, and hopefully we never have to go through it or experience it in our lifetimes, but we do need to make sure that we're prepared in the event that something like this were to happen. We will utilize what we call ALICE. And again, if you're returning to the middle school or if you were at Brenner last year, you might be aware ALICE is an acronym that stands for alert, which reminds us to always make sure that if we see something, we say something, and that we alert people of somebody who's maybe doing harm. The second part of ALICE is lockdown. And what that reminds us to do is that if somebody is trying to do harm to our school or to the students and they're close by and it's not safe for us to be able to leave, we can lock ourselves down into the nearest classroom by locking the door, setting up a barricade to try to prevent that person from entering the room that we're in. The I in ALICE stands for inform. We want to make sure that whenever we can inform people as much as possible, be specific about where that person is, what they're trying to do, and we also want to be listening for that information as well during this type of a situation. The C in ALICE stands for counter. And when we think about counter, what we're talking about is if we're not able to lock down or we're not able to evacuate the area that we're in, we can utilize the counter by trying to either distract the person that is trying to do harm or maybe throw stuff at them. We're trying to stop them from doing what they're doing and from harming us. So things like books, pencils, lunch trays can all be utilized as a distraction method to stop that person from doing harm to other people. And then the E in ALICE stands for evacuate. Remember, we will always look to evacuate first when it comes to these situations. If you can, go utilize the door, the window, get yourself out of the situation and as far away as possible. We want you safe, and we'll find you and get you to where you need to be, but evacuation is always our first option when it comes to these situations of somebody trying to do harm to the staff or students in our building. Our rally point will continue to be Zion Lutheran Church. So if you do evacuate, and when you do evacuate, you want to make your way there in a safe way, as safe as possible. Remember that you are important. We want to make sure that you're okay. Take care of yourself and evacuate if you need to, but you have options with ALICE to try to make sure that you can make the best decision at that given time. Don't worry about your possessions. Those can be replaced. You need to make sure that you are safe. Use the part of ALICE again that you need. Your cell phones might not work during this time. We'll make every effort to make sure that we're communicating with your families about the situation. And so just be aware that they might be jammed up. The towers might be jammed up in the event that we have something bad happening in our building. You need to make sure that you stay calm as possible. These are usually upsetting times. And then remember, we'll go to Zion, and from Zion, we will go to Hope Church. That's where you will meet to reunite with your parents or guardians. So again, students, not something that we love to talk about, but something that we have to be prepared for. We will utilize ALICE in the event that somebody tries to do harm to us